64 Tacos Podcasts presents Is This Song Good? This is episode 52. Wolf Parade, Dear Sons and Daughters of Hungry Ghosts.
Welcome back to another edition of Is This Song Good? The song today is a song by Wolf Parade called Dear Sons and Daughters of Hungry Ghosts. This is a album, Apologies to the Queen Mary, that Zach, you gave me back right around the time that we moved out west, right after the album came out. I have strong associations with Phoenix and Tucson for that reason. I remember just tossing in the CD player in the car and just listening to it over and over again. And I really, really love this album. I had trouble figuring out if there were official singles from here. I know that there was a music video for I'll Believe in Anything, which I'm pretty sure was a single. But I don't think it was the first single.
Yeah.
Don't believe that Sons and Daughters of Hungry Ghosts are. Did you figure anything out on that?
Oh, well, according to Wikipedia, it was just Modern World, Shine a Light, and I'll Believe in Anything. Those were the three singles.
Okay.
But I think that's kind of strange because I don't even really know how I came about it because it definitely was not from radio play.
Yeah. I'm not sure. I just was like, hey, you got anything good you're listening to? And you gave me this, and I think you gave me Decemberists and a couple other ones, and this one really grabbed me. This whole album grabbed me. But there's a line in this song. It says, I think it goes more or less, you say it's in God's hands, but God doesn't always have the best goddamn hands, does he?
Mm-hmm.
That line hooked me because I thought it was, kind of clever and funny. And then that really sort of like hooked me into the song, and then that kind of progressively hooked me into the album. So it all kind of started with this song for me. Not a band that you'd hear on the radio anyway, I don't think, for, at least not any major radio station.
Yeah, I'll say this on that. My only impression of this band is from listening to this in preparation for this podcast. So
this song,
yes.
Yeah. Well, anyway, what'd you think, Dave?
I wasn't sure if this was an Iggy Pop band because the vocalist sounds a lot like Iggy Pop at times. So I thought maybe that's what was going on. Then I looked it up, and turns out it is not. It made sense that the album came out in 2005 because I don't remember any music coming out from, I think, 2001 to 2015. Like there was no new music written in that time period in my memory. So
just didn't happen.
It completely makes sense that I did not know anything about this. I liked it for the most part. I liked how the song just kind of falls apart on itself towards the end, where he's doing his la 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 la, and then he kind of loses the time with the song, and the sons and daughters of, and that it just kind of all gets jumbled up in the end. That I liked that.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a song I enjoyed listening to. Other than those things, I don't have any strong feelings about it. Well, how about you, Zach? Obviously, you are the impetus for the bringing of this song to the group.
Yeah. So, like I said, I can't exactly remember where I discovered the band or the album. It was at a time where I think, like you, Dave, music was. If radio, like the radio way of getting music or ingesting music was falling off for me because of all the boy bands and other Limp Bizkits and crap that I just was not really that interested in. I mean, I was for a little while, not the boy bands, but the Limp Bizkit. I admit it. You
did it all for the nookie.
Yeah, but
I know what you did with that cookie.
But this was the time period where I got frustrated with the industry delivering things to me, and I went out and I tried to seek things out. And so in that, I found some sort of indie rock. I don't know if it was blogs like Pitchfork or Stereo Gum or something like that. And as I read those blogs, I that was the exposure that I got. So that sort of became my radio. I was like reading blog posts, and it was like, oh, this, some hippie in New York or whatever is like, I really like listening to this, and talks about it. And then I go and listen to it and think, oh yeah, this is good. Or, oh no, that's just not for me. But this was one of the ones that was like, oh yeah, this is good. And I went and downloaded the album, bought the album, whatever the
you legally downloaded the album in 2005.
Yes,
not using Napster.
Yes.
And let me just say, you purchased an album in the store and then gave it to me when you gave it to me. I can only assume. My memory is a little fuzzy, but I can only assume that's the case.
Yeah, so I think I did actually own that. Like, I did actually buy this album, but there were a lot of albums at this time where I was not sure if I actually wanted to buy them or not, and so I would download them. And anyway, illegal stuff aside, this album, when I actually got into it, I really liked it a lot, and this song in particular really came to the forefront. I mean, I think that album is solid from start to finish. There's not a bad song on it, but this one in particular really rises above some of the other ones. And I do like the structuring about how it doesn't have really a verse, chorus, verse. There's sort of some chorusy type of stuff going on, but it's really all over the place, and it falls apart at the end. And but I do like that sort of experimentation, that, and I think that's why this song and this album really appealed to me at that time, was how a lot of the stuff that I had been hearing on the radio or from other, from the radio gives it to me type of method, was very calculated, very poppy, and produced for a specific reason. And this type of music did something completely different and excited me, because it was, like the way that he's singing is very, at times bellowy, and at times very meek, and at times kind of annoying. Like there are parts where he's almost doing sort of like a yodel vocal thing that kind of annoys me. And but I like it in the context of what the song is about. And it's enjoyable for all these different reasons that are not typical for the types of music that people often listen to. And so for indie rock, I think it really shines a lot, and got me excited about the band and wanting more from the band. Because if this is what they put out on their first album, where is it going to go from here?
Yeah, this is a quick aside. It made me think, Zach, in your radio tell me what to listen to phase. I just imagine you as Malcolm McDowell in Clockwork Orange, being fed by the radio with a spoon, with your mouth agape. And that was a nice visual for me. Yeah. There's two singers in this band. They kind of like split it up. Dan Bachner and Spencer Krug, I don't know. Yep. But this is Spencer Krug, and it's interesting, Dave. I never thought of the Iggy Pop reference, which is why it's kind of cool that you came in cold and you were like, boom, that's what that sounds like. I never thought of that, but you're exactly right that there's real similarities there. But I love his sort of I tend to prefer his songs a little bit, although I like the Dan Bachner songs a lot too. I just like how sort of out there and loose, and like Dave, you mentioned, he kind of gets off the rhythm and it all falls apart, and it kind of, for me, the song shambles along in this sort of like mid-tempo pace, and he's just sort of like all over the place, and that just makes it really interesting to me. I tend to like slightly weird vocals sometimes, and he definitely hits you with that. There's no doubt about it. But yeah, this is a great song for me. I love it. Obviously, I brought it up. And that's one of the cool things that I like about Wolf Parade is the two of them. I mean, there are more members of the band. Well, now there's only just the drummer guy, Arlen. But the core two songwriters are Spencer and Dan, and they have different strengths and different weaknesses. And I think Spencer is a much stronger lyricist than Dan is. And I think Dan is a much stronger song melody writer.
Like, melody writer.
Yeah.
And so I think when you get the two of them together, you get this power duo that really shines. But not all their songs are like that. Like one song is just a Spencer song, and then there's another song that's just a Dan song. And I think this one is actually as billed as dual. Like they both had a hand in this one.
Interesting. Well, yeah, because if you listen to this song and then listen to This Heart's on Fire, you wouldn't think it's the same band.
Right.
But it also kind of works. If you listen on the album, it doesn't feel out of place.
Yeah.
All right. Well, anything else anybody want to say?
No, I've said what I came to say.
Yep. All right. Well, then looks like we have somebody else up next week. What are we doing next week?
We've got it's going to be Areotarca by the Mars Volta from
Mars
their
Volta.
album Deloused in the Comatorium. Yep.
Is this a you suggestion or a Dave suggestion now?
This is a me. Yep.
This is going to be a hard one to figure out when we get to it.
Yeah. This is let's expand Dave's horizons violently.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. This is the Shadow era that he's least familiar with.
Yeah, it definitely is.
All right.
All right, we'll see that.
Okay.
I caught it on audio.